You ever stop and think about that little piece of plastic in your wallet? Or the numbers that just magically appear in your bank account app? What is that really? It's money, sure. But where did it come from? Not like where did you get it, but where did the whole idea of money come from? It's a wild story. Way more interesting than you'd think. Let's rewind the clock way back. Before kings, before empires, before your great. You get the idea. We lived in small communities. If I had a bunch of chickens but needed some wheat, I'd find you, the wheat guy. We'd haggle. How about 10 of my chickens for that big sack of your wheat? Nah, mate, these are premium chickens. 5 chickens, tops. This is bartering. It worked, kind of, but it was a massive headache. What if the wheat guy didn't want chickens? What if my chickens died on the way? What if I only needed a little bit of wheat, not a whole sack? It was clumsy. So humanity, being the clever bunch we are, came up with a better idea. We needed a middleman. Something everyone agreed was valuable. This is called commodity money. Think shiny shells, rare stones, salt. Yeah, the word salary literally comes from the Latin word for salt sal, because Roman soldiers were sometimes paid in it. It was better than bartering, but still not perfect. You can't exactly carry a cow into the market to buy a loaf of bread, right? Then around 600 BC in a kingdom called Lydia, in modern-day Turkey, someone had a stroke of genius. Let's use precious metals, gold and silver. They're rare, they're durable, they don't rot, and you can divide them into smaller pieces. They started stamping little bits of a gold and silver alloy with an official seal. Boom, the first coins were born. This was a game changer. Suddenly, trade exploded. You could travel, you could build empires, all because you had this universal, portable, trustworthy form of value. For the next 2,500 years, gold and silver were money. But carrying around bags of gold is, well, it's heavy, and it makes you a pretty tempting target for bandits. So another innovation. In China, around the 11th century, merchants started leaving their heavy coins with a trustworthy person who gave them a paper receipt. They realized they could just trade the paper receipts instead of fetching the coins every time. And just like that, paper money was invented. The concept traveled west, and banks started doing the same thing. They'd issue banknotes, which were basically just an IOU, a promise that you could exchange this piece of paper for a specific amount of real gold or silver from their vault. This was the gold standard. Your paper money had value because it was backed by something real and shiny locked away somewhere. Now hold on, because this is where it gets weird. In the 20th century, especially after the World Wars and the Great Depression, countries started to think differently. In 1971, the US officially severed the link between the dollar and gold. Just cut it, poof. Your dollar bill was no longer a claim check for gold. It was valuable simply because the government said it was valuable, and because we all believe it is. This is called fiat money. Fiat is Latin for let it be done. It's money by decree. Almost all the money in the world today is fiat money. It's a collective act of faith. And that brings us to today, the final and maybe most radical leap. We took the paper out of paper money, we digitized it. When your salary gets direct deposited, no physical money moves. It's just numbers being changed in a computer. When you tap your card, it's a secure digital message. We've gone from physical objects, shells, salt, gold, to a physical representation of a promise, paper, to pure information. Pure data, and the evolution isn't over. Now we have cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, which are trying to create a new form of digital money that isn't controlled by any government or bank. It's a whole new chapter being written right now. So next time you pay for your coffee with your phone, take a second. You're participating in a story that's thousands of years old. From a bag of salt to a gold coin to a slip of paper, to a flicker of light on a screen. The form of money has changed dramatically, but the fundamental idea, a shared belief in value, has stayed exactly the same. Kinda makes you think, right?